Welcome back. Today we're reading Chapter 7, Apple Mary and Dennie's Lucky Apples. Let's find Chapter 7. Oh, I got it bookmarked. My lucky little toothpick. All right, Chapter 7. Lucky Apples at Work. Let's turn on the flash here. There we go. The next day, Apple Mary was back at work, down in the slums, with her apple cart.
It's grand having a nice home,
She was thinking to herself.
but somehow coming out again with the apple cart is so much fun. Makes me feel I'm really living again. Dennie was right. The only way to really help the poor is to go out among them and find out what they need.
She cast a practiced eye over the people about her.
No one down here knows that old Apple Mary has regained her fortune, and I don't want them to.
She decided.
The worst ones would be after my money, and the deserving ones would stay away for fear I'd think they were after it.
Now, she was stopped by an old friend, Officer Mulligan. "Hello, Mary," he greeted her with a smile. "Haven't seen you around lately. Finding the work too hard for you?" Mary shook a playful finger at her friend. "Now, is that nice, Mr. Mulligan?" reminding a lady of her age. "I thought maybe you hadn't been well," the officer explained. "You hardly missed a day for 5 years. Then all of a sudden you stopped coming. I've been spending the rest of my time in another part of town," Apple Mary told him, half truthfully. "You must be doing well," Mulligan declared admiringly. "You look happy." "Here, take an apple for old time's sake," Mary offered, polishing up a fine red one. "Thanks," grinned the policeman. "Your apples are earning quite a reputation for being lucky." Apple Mary chuckled secretly as her old friend strolled away. Then she turned as a little girl's sobbing caught her attention. "What's the matter, honey?" she asked kindly. "Are you lost?"
No,
The little girl choked.
I just feels bad. Mama's awful sick, and there ain't nothing in the house to eat.
"Now, don't you cry," Apple Mary comforted her. "Here, take this nice red apple. You'll feel better, and maybe something will happen." The little girl's eyes opened wide at the sight of the apple.
Is it really mine?
She breathed.
All for me? Gee, thanks.
As the little girl skipped happily off down the street, munching on the apple, Apple Mary stepped into a drugstore telephone booth and called Mr. Sprocket.
And remember, Mr. Sprocket, send the doctor to that address at once and see that they get everything they need. Mind, they mustn't guess who sent it.
She hustled back to her pushcart and was trudging along toward home when Louise and Dennie, out for a stroll with the wheelchair, caught sight of her. "Look, Dennie!" Louise cried. "There's that apple woman I've seen go by your grandmother's home. I want to talk to her." As Louise quickened her pace to catch up with Apple Mary, Dennie began thinking fast.
Gee, Grandma doesn't want Louise to know she's Apple Mary.
He remembered.
I'll have to warn her.
Apple Mary looked up in surprise as she heard a familiar little voice calling,
Louise! Louise! Look!
Across the street, Dennie was trying to distract the nurse's attention while he warned his grandmother.
Why, that's Dennie. And Louise.
Apple Mary murmured.
They're coming over here. I'll have to get away.
By this time, Louise had turned back to the wheelchair. I don't see a thing, Dennie, she complained. Oh, that Apple woman is leaving. She certainly is in a hurry. As Dennie saw that they were gaining on Apple Mary, he slyly tossed his glove over the side of the chair. Louise retrieved it patiently. Goodness, Dennie, here it is. Now hang on to it, she urged. We'll lose sight of her. Once again, they sped along after the Apple woman until... Dennie, you've dropped your hat, Louise cried. Stopping the wheelchair again. What is the matter with you? Now that Apple woman is out of sight. I'm terribly sorry, said Dennie, very meekly. When they got home, Louise told Mrs. Worth of her disappointment.
And I tried to overtake her, but Dennie kept dropping his things,
she exclaimed in disappointment.
Now, that's too bad.
Apple Mary sympathized.
You didn't see her close up then.
Louise sank into a chair with a little weary sigh.
Oh, pushing that wheelchair so fast wore me out,
she admitted.
I ache all over. It certainly is a job pushing something in a hurry. You said it,
Apple Mary agreed wearily. And that's the end of chapter 7. What could be happening in chapter 8? Let's read the title.
A dangerous rival.
Ooh. Looks like things are going to pick up in chapter 8. I hope you'll join me. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.